Hey, everybody, and welcome to another deep dive.
Absolutely.
You know what we're talking about today?
Yeah.
It's all about you.
Yeah.
It's about keeping you safe
Keeping you safe.
in the digital world. Personal cybersecurity.
It is, yeah.
Are you ready to dive in?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So we're talking cybersecurity checkup.
Okay.
Think about going to the doctor, right?
Great.
But instead of checking your heart rate, we're checking your devices.
I like it.
All of them.
Okay.
From that super smart computer you're probably listening to this on,
Mm-hmm.
to that phone buzzing in your pocket,
Yeah.
even that smart speaker
Oh, yeah.
that maybe you use sometimes to stream tunes,
Uh-huh.
they're all part of this checkup.
They are all vulnerable.
They are vulnerable.
Yeah.
So where do we even start with all this?
I guess it feels big, right?
Yeah, it can feel overwhelming. It absolutely can. But I think a good place to start is with the simplest thing,
Okay.
and that's making sure that all of your software is up to date. Okay, so we're talking updates here. Not the most exciting thing,
I know.
but important.
It is important because think of it this way. Those updates, they're not just about getting the latest and greatest features, though that's always nice.
Sure, yeah.
But it's really about those security patches, right? Think of it like, reinforcing your front door
Oh,
on your house.
okay.
Those updates are like the extra deadbolt, the stronger hinges. They're patching up vulnerabilities that hackers could exploit.
It's like they know, the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
They know what those vulnerabilities are.
Absolutely, they're looking for them.
And they're just waiting for someone to not update, and bam, they're in.
That's exactly right. And, this isn't just theoretical. I mean, we've all heard the horror stories. I had a friend, I'm not going to say their name to protect the innocent here,
Right.
but they put off an update for weeks. Too busy, they said. And then, guess what? Ransomware. Their entire computer, held hostage, had to pay a hefty sum just to get their own files back.
Oof. Not fun.
Yeah, clicking update doesn't sound so bad now, huh?
Not at all.
Yeah.
A little bit of maintenance goes a long way.
Right. Okay, so we've got our devices all patched up, updated,
Look at
good to
that.
go. But they're all talking to each other, right?
Yes,
This,
where?
this whole network,
The network.
our digital world, how do we protect that?
Well, that's where your firewall and your router, they really come into play.
Mm-hmm.
And these are two things that people hear a lot, but they don't necessarily always know what they are. So think of it like this. Your firewall is like your first line of defense, right? It's like that security guard
Okay.
standing at the door, checking IDs and making sure that nothing suspicious gets in.
I like that.
And then you got your router.
Yeah.
Your router is like the traffic director. Okay, it manages all the data coming in and out,
Oh.
making sure it goes where it needs to go. But just like with anything else, these things need updates too.
Right. And those updates are crucial because they often include, the latest security enhancements to keep those pesky hackers at bay.
It's like giving your firewall and your router
Yes.
a new set of tools to fight the bad guys.
Exactly. It's like giving them the latest intel,
Oh, very cool. Okay, so we've talked about computers, phones, smart devices.
Right.
Got our firewall, our router, all updated, secure. But there's still this thing. Right?
Whoa, what's that?
It's like the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
And that's our passwords.
Oh, passwords.
Everybody's favorite topic.
Don't get me started, the bane of my existence.
Right. And we've all been there, staring at the screen like, was it password 123 or 123 password?
Oh, absolutely. Or
Yeah.
my personal favorite
Pow.
password with a capital P at the beginning. Come on.
The worst, right. But seriously, those weak passwords, they're an open invitation for trouble.
They are. They're like leaving your front door wide open with a sign that says, come on in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's the solution?
Well, thankfully, we live in a time where we have these amazing tools called password managers.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, these things are lifesavers.
So they're not just for like remembering our passwords,
No.
right?
They do way more than that. They can actually generate super strong, unique passwords for each and every one of your accounts. I mean, we're talking about those passwords that are practically impossible for hackers to crack.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So they're doing the heavy lifting for us.
Exactly.
So we don't have to remember like 50 different crazy passwords.
Exactly. You don't have to remember any of them.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've got strong, unique passwords. What else can we do to like really lock things down?
Two-factor authentication.
Well,
Two-factor authentication, or 2FA.
2FA.
2FA. And it sounds complicated, but it's actually really simple. It's like having an extra lock on your door.
Okay.
So even if someone gets their hands on your password, they still can't get in without that second factor, which is usually a code sent to your phone or email.
I actually love 2FA. I use it everywhere now.
You should. It's great.
It's just like it gives you that peace of mind,
Absolutely.
knowing that even if someone gets your password, they're still not getting in.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about protecting ourselves,
Yes.
but what about those just-in-case scenarios?
Uh-oh. I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I'm talking about backups.
Backups, backups, backups.
No one's favorite topic, but so important.
Nobody likes to think about it until they need it, right?
Exactly.
But you know what? They're like an insurance policy for your digital life.
Okay,
You hope you never have to use it, but if you do, you'll be so grateful you have it.
so what do we back her up? Everything.
Everything. And we should do it regularly.
Okay?
And this is important. We need to store it securely.
Okay, what does that mean? Securely.
So that means either using an external hard drive that's not always connected to your computer
Okay.
or using a cloud-based service that offers encryption.
Oh, that makes sense. Because if our computer crashes, or worse, gets stolen, we don't want to lose everything.
You're toast. You're done.
Exactly.
So those backups, they're really your lifeline in those situations.
They are. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have. We've covered a lot.
We've talked about devices, networks, passwords, backups.
We're on a roll.
We are on a roll. But I think there's one last thing we need to touch on.
Yeah.
And that's what to do if, despite our best efforts, we still become the victim of a cyber attack.
Right. Right.
Because it can happen.
No, absolutely.
So what do we do?
Well, I'm glad you asked because this is where having an incident response plan comes in handy.
Incident response plan.
Yes. It's like having a fire drill for your digital life.
Yeah.
You hope you never have to use it, but if you do, you'll know exactly what to do.
So walk me through it. What would be in an incident response plan?
Okay, so first things first, detection. How do you even know if you've been attacked, right? Are you seeing weird pop-ups? Is your computer running slower than usual? These could be signs. Then you've got your response. This is where you contain the damage. Disconnect from the internet, change your passwords, things like that.
Right, right.
And finally, recovery. This is where you get back to business as usual. Restore from your backups, run those security scans, and make sure everything is back to normal.
So it's really about having a plan.
Exactly. Because when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't want to be scrambling, trying to figure out what to do.
No, absolutely not.
That's when mistakes happen.
Right. You're stressed, you're panicked, and you're more likely to make a bad situation worse.
Exactly. Having a plan can really help minimize the damage and the stress.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, this has been, I think, a really informative deep dive.
Absolutely.
We've covered a ton of ground.
We've covered all the essentials, I think.
Yeah, and, it's like anything else, right? It's about being proactive.
Yes.
Taking those steps now to protect yourself,
Absolutely.
rather than waiting until something bad happens.
Exactly. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, as they say.
Couldn't agree more. So, to our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this cybersecurity checkup. Remember, it's all about being proactive, not paranoid.
That's right.
Take those small steps, build those good habits, and stay safe out there.
Onward to digital wellness.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See ya.